it sounds like challenge, it sounds dangerous, but at the same time, it doesn't sound evil. Hey music friends, this is Davi Vasc. I'm a music composer for games, and you guys know that every week we get together here on the channel to share the music from the games that we love with each other. But sometimes the games that we love aren't even out yet, and that's the case today with SIlksong, Hollow Knight Silksong, which is the upcoming sequel to Hollow Knight. And you guys have been asking me to react to the 2 music samples that are currently available for the game and try, to see if we can figure something out about the game based just on listening to the songs. So there's currently 2 samples available. One is Bonebottom and the other is Lace. We're gonna listen to and talk about both of them. So let's go. So this is Bonebottom. The piano, very familiar piano. This sounds like a... If I had to guess... Oh. This melody keeps repeating. Oh, awesome. So if I had to guess, this is obviously not a boss theme, right? This is either an area theme, like an exploration track, or a town theme. And I'm leaning more towards the town theme because, first of all, the Bonebottom sounds kind of like a town theme to me. And also that there's a more kind of, I don't know, a more familiar, cozy feeling to this as opposed to an exploration track, which are usually a bit more mysterious and dangerous. This sounds a bit more cozy and familiar. And another interesting thing about this is here I noticed that he seems to be emphasizing a thing in music, that there's a note in music called the 7th. And the 7th, how do I explain this? It's kind of like an optional note, you could say. It's a fundamental part of the chords, but most people don't use it. Like if you hear a pop song or a rock song, most people omit the 7th. You can safely omit it in most cases. But you should use it. You should use the 7th when you want to go for something more sophisticated, because it adds an extra layer of emotion, of meaning. So jazz, for example, jazz music is synonym with the 7th. They use the 7th all the time, and classical music as well uses the 7th a lot. It's an extra layer of sophistication. Sophistication is a good word for it. And here he is really emphasizing chords with the 7th in a way that I don't remember him doing in Hollow Knight. So chords like this, for example. Beautiful chord. So he's doing this. It sounds so deep, right? And it's essentially he's doing just this. This is a very simple happy chord. This is the 3-note version of it. When I play it very simply and raw like this, it sounds a lot less emotional, right? This compared to, right? And 7th chords like this tend to sound more magical, more ethereal sometimes. They also sometimes sound a bit more negative and moody because there's some additional tension in there. Sometimes they sound more mellow. And maybe all these 7ths and this kind of mellow, magical, ethereal sensation that we're getting from the 7ths here is more of a thing particular about this area, about Bonebottom, about this, what I'm assuming is a town. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Beautiful chord. Oh. 10th chord. Oh. Oh wow, this is very different. Wow, this sounds so homely. It feels kind of cozy. And more positive. I don't remember hearing fluid lyrical strings like this in Hollow Knight. In Hollow Knight, when we had strings, it was usually like the kind of punchy, fast type for the boss fights. This also sounds more positive. It progressively keeps sounding more and more positive and more homely. Like here, for example, more towards the beginning of the song, there was a part where I said, oh, 10th chord, they were setting up a resolution, right? They set up the 10th chord so they can go to the home chord, what we call here in the channel the home chord, so they can resolve the tension. But the thing is, sometimes in this game, especially dark games like this, they set up the 10th chord and then they don't resolve it, they don't go to the peaceful chord, and it's like a disturbing feeling. Here, I was expecting him to fake us out, to set up the 10th chord and then not resolve it, but he actually resolved it, and it gives it such a satisfying. Here, 10th chord and resolution. This is the home chord. It's such a sensation of finality and conclusion and peace. So it's what I'm saying. There's a lot of positive emotion here. So now we're going to listen to the other one, which is called Lace. Let's go. Oh. Okay, so this is a boss theme. Oh. This is the kind of strings that I'm more used to. Remember when I said that I didn't remember those kind of fluid lyrical strings on the other song. This is more like it. This is probably, I have to assume this is a boss theme. And so far, this sounds more like the kind of earlier, more playful, low stakes boss themes from the first Hollow Knight. You know, like the Hornet fight, which is, there was not a lot of evil, a lot of danger in it. It sounds like something more playful, sounds more like sport than like a battle to the death. Oh. What an interesting melody. It sounds... Oh wow. very intricate, very sophisticated work with the rhythm, with the strings, and the melody here on the cello, and then it went to the violin. Such an interesting melody. It sounds like challenge. It sounds dangerous, but at the same time, it doesn't sound evil. There's not a lot of disturbing and overly tense chords in this. It just keeps going back and forth between peaceful chords, and it builds tension and then it goes back again. Oh, it's going up, it's building up tension. Oh, the melody again. Let me see if I can figure out this harmony. It's a very interesting melody and harmony. So you can see here he's making some very interesting choices. To start off, he starts here, and remember I talked about setting up tension and then releasing it. Here he is actually doing what I expected him to do in the previous track. He's setting up the tense chord, and then he's not resolving. He's faking us out, and then instead of resolving it, which would be here, this would give a sensation of finality and conclusion and peacefulness. Instead of doing this, he goes from the tense chord to here, which does not resolve the tension. So it keeps the tension going. It keeps you in your toes, and then he does this, and this is a tense chord. It builds tension again, and this it's a dominant chord. The correct name is a dominant chord. Here in the channel, I called it a tense chord. This is not the what I call here in the channel the disturbing chord. Remember, this is not the disturbing chord, so it's not full-blown disturbing, but in the dominant chord that he's using here, there's some elements of disturbingness here. So he is not going full disturbing, he's smoothing it out and making it less menacing. So yeah, that's interesting. That goes along with what I predicted, that this is not really like an evil kind of boss. Oh, more intensity? Oh, so many interesting rhythmic shenanigans. Oh, crescendo. It's growing, it's gonna end. End! Please end! Oh man, so much tension. I have more videos on the soundtrack of Hollow Knight, you can check them out over here, and I'm actually playing Hollow Knight for the very first time live on stream, and I'm actually a bit of a pro gamer myself because I beat Hornet first try. Don't believe it? You can check out the live streams, the VODs for the live streams over here. And remember, whenever you're ready, spread your wings and go on a music journey again. I will see you there.